Hey, what's up guys? I'm Tony G. You're watching 1526 BBQ, and today I'm gonna do another Pit Boss modification or a Pit Boss hack, whatever you want to call it. Let's see. So I picked up a Charbroil Universal Rotisserie kit that we're gonna find a way to install into my Pit Boss 1100 Pro. Check it out. All right, let's see what comes inside of this box. So I guess it's also an unboxing video. Alright, there's the spit. I'm thinking I might have to extend this. Maybe pick up some hardware at Home Depot, but we'll see how that goes. Trash. Alright, we got these like meat holders. I'm not sure what they're called. The accessories kit, or like the mounting hardware. Hopefully some of that becomes useful for us. I'm not sure yet. And I'm gonna guess the motor's in here. Yep, there it is. Alright, let's go do some thinking, figure out how to get this thing installed. Alright guys, it's actually the next day. I did some tinkering in here and trying to figure out where's the best place to put this. And it looks like on the Pit Boss 1100 Pro, the best way to install this rotisserie is actually through the stack. So I went to the big box store and got some hardware that I think I'll need. Now it's time to start marking and drilling. Let's see how it turns out. Alright, again, the idea is I'm going to drill a hole right through the stack here so that I can mount the rotisserie motor outside here, somewhere like that. Now in order to get that height, I bought these 6" by 6" brackets at Home Depot. Hopefully they're tall enough. And I got some other hardware here just in case I need it. And then I thought to myself, I'm going to be drilling a hole in my stack. How do I close that off when I'm not using the rotisserie? And I bought this long bolt and some washers and some nuts, and I'm going to try to fashion a stopper, if you will, for when we're not using the rotisserie. Now I am going to eyeball where I put this hole. I know it needs to be as close to the bottom as possible, so I'm going to go just north of it to make sure I don't damage anything down there. And centered, of course, right? I got two different bits that I found in my garage. Pretty sure this is a metal bit and this is a woodworking bit. To be honest with you, if I didn't have the metal bit, I would use the woodworking bit. This is so, such a thin piece of metal. I don't think this is going to have any problem going through it. But since I did find this, what I believe to be a metalworking bit, I'm going to go ahead and use that one. I'm just kind of using that real sharp tip that the bit has to kind of make a dent. Try not to let the bit walk around when I start. So now I'm going to want to push on it and it's rolling. The wheels have locks. Perfect. Go ahead and lock these two wheels down. Now you're going to want to try to keep this as level as possible, nice and straight. So far all I've got is the tip in. Alright, so the bit's not doing a great job of getting in there. Just that little tip is, if you notice, just that tip is kind of trying to drill in. As soon as I get down to the meaty part of this bit, I'm sure it'll work a little better, but let's keep trying and see what happens. Alright, that seems to be working better. So I'm taking my other arm, holding on to the stack and pulling towards me while I push into it with my body weight. Alright, So I've gotten down to the base of the bit, and I'm going to slow down and take my time here. Try my best not to ruin anything. Maybe it's not a metal bit because it's really struggling, but... Alright, just because I'm probably wrong and this is maybe a woodworking bit and that's a metal bit, let's try the other one, see if it's any better. Alright, here goes nothing. Yeah, I think I was wrong. This bit worked a lot better. We got our hole. Let's see if our stopper fits in there. It'll be just the bolt part, not any of these washers or nuts. Like it was meant to be. Perfect. Alright, now let's just make sure that the spit actually fits. And it doesn't. The spit's actually a little wider, so we're going to open up that hole some. Alright, it fits, but I do have a problem. I ended up going a little higher than I wanted to, and now this basket inside is kind of hitting the roof. I know it's not a big deal if I'm not using the basket, but I do want to use the basket. So I'm going to try to elongate that hole a little bit so it sits lower. It's not much, but that's what happens when you eyeball. I'm going to adjust the height of the stand. This stand goes inside the barbecue. I'm going to get this just right, and then I'll test the spin again to make sure this basket isn't hitting. Alright, so the next thing to do is to attach this bracket, which comes with the rotisserie kit. The motor actually just hangs right on that. I'm going to attach that bracket to these legs that I bought at Home Depot. I'm going to try to use the screws that came with the rotisserie because they have some lock washers. I just dropped one. They have some lock washers on there, so let's see if those will work for us. Alright, so the more I play with this, the more I am convinced that the 6 inches up is enough. That's pretty good. I'm going to have to play with it a little bit. But the 6 inches this way is just too far. I have an idea. Alright, so what I'm going to try next is instead of mounting the legs this way, which kind of interrupts or is interfered by the barbecue, I'm going to turn the legs backwards. That should give us more than enough space. Alright, so I'm decided to not use the factory screw and nut and washer just because it makes it so hard to adjust the height. I'm going to try to use the hardware I bought at the store. Now I want to be able to put this as close to the stack as I feel comfortable. I don't want it touching because it might, damage the electronics on here. The stack gets pretty hot. But the further I can push it in towards the stack, the more space I'll have over here for things to be cooking. So let me adjust that a little bit. Okay. I think that'll work well where I'm at. I'll show you a close-up a little later. I still need to adjust the vertical height. Again, I'm using the hardware I bought at the store. It doesn't have lock washers, so it should make it easier to just scoot it down. Alright, it's in the That got really close. Okay. I think I'm happy where I'm at. The spit's all the way into the motor. I'm just going to tighten it up. I'm going to tighten up the legs where I have them now. So, alright, let's take a look at what I've done. Okay, so you guys all watched me drill this hole into the bottom of my stack, right? I got the spit coming all the way through. I got a basket on there now, but of course that basket can be removed and you can do a chicken. And then in order to mount the motor, I got these two 6-inch by 6-inch brackets and some hardware. Now, I did buy more hardware to bolt it to the table if I have to, but I'm not sure if I have to yet. Let's give that a try and see how this thing looks. Alright, I'm going to turn this on for the first time. I think one of two things is going to happen. Either it's going to be perfect and we're not going to have a big deal, no problems, or there's going to be so much torque in this, slow moving but high torque, that these legs aren't going to be able to support it without bolting it down first. So let's give it a try. Oh, no problem at all. Look at that. We got a Pit Boss rotisserie. Beautiful. All right. And it's completely removable. All right, so I think it's going to be just fine. You know, I have the holes in the brackets. If I need to one day, I can bolt this thing down. But what I might end up doing is, during like a long cook, I might just get like a ratchet strap and strap this down across the table here to help just keep it secure. Actually, the biggest thing I'm worried about is it moving out and the spit falling off the motor. Nothing will happen to the meat because it's still going to be supported by the stack, but it just won't be rotisserie, right? Alright, let's turn this off and see if we can't fashion a good stopper for it. Alright, so again, the idea is I'm going to use this when I'm not using the rotisserie. I'm going to put it through the stack on the inside and coming out the hole here. One washer will be on the inside, one washer will be on the outside. I think I'm going to have to find some sort of way to bend these to match the curve of the stack, but let's just see how it looks without having to do that. Alright, so for the inside you're going to need 2 nuts. The idea is to lock those 2 nuts together like that. Now I don't know how far back to put it yet. I'm going to test by putting it in here. Now on the inside you will take one of these washers. Alright, so once we get this all figured out, this is how I would plug up that hole. I take this, slide it in, put the other washer on, and then the last nut. That might be enough. After a couple smokes, I'll see how much smoke I'm leaking through here, and if I'm leaking too much, I'm going to try to find a way to bend this washer so it matches the curve here. Let me show you what it looks like on the inside. So there it is sticking out. On the inside it sticks out on this side. I did that on purpose, that way I can hold it here while I unscrew or screw it there and don't have to shove my hand deep inside the stack. So one last modification I did was I double nutted the legs. Putting that second nut and tightening it up against the first nut really ensures that thing will never back out. So, oh, hold on, I see a problem, Batman. That guy's hitting there. Not a big deal. I could push it out here. Hold on a second. All right, so we had that one problem. It wasn't a big deal. You just got to pay attention when you're installing the rotisserie to make sure any of the attachments you have on it isn't hitting, you know, the inside of the grill. Being that I didn't have to bolt down the legs, Super simple. I just kind of pushed everything in more. Now when I did that, I did have to move this stand a little bit, but I think you'll be able to figure it out. That's it, guys. I'm going to call it the first ever Pit Boss with the rotisserie installed. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.